Okay, let's kick off this explainer with a number that honestly stopped me in my tracks. 7,600. In 2023, authorities uncovered a massive wire fraud scheme where over 7,600 fake nursing diplomas and transcripts were handed out by so-called accredited schools. And the crazy part? People actually used these fake credentials to sit for national exams, and many slipped right into the healthcare workforce. Zero required education, zero clinical training. It's a sobering reality check, right? When you're trusting someone with your life or the life of a loved one, you absolutely need to know they're the real deal.
So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're basically turning you into a credential detective. We're going to walk through exactly how to verify a Michigan nurse's license to guarantee patient safety. Whether you're a hiring manager at a clinic or just a patient looking for some peace of mind, knowing how to run these checks is an incredibly powerful tool to have in your back pocket.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll look at the stakes of verification, jump into a quick guide on using the LARA system, cover some common search pitfalls to avoid, touch on the legal and ethical rules, and wrap up with national tools. Section 1, the stakes of verification, and why checking a license is so critical. So our best friend in this investigation is the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, or LARA for short. Now, in some states, nursing boards have their own separate tech systems, kind of doing their own thing. But Michigan, they consolidate all licensing operations into one centralized hub. LARA's Bureau of Professional Licensing handles everybody, from registered nurses to nurse practitioners, which makes this one system your absolute go-to resource. Section 2, using the LARA system. Here's your step-by-step guide to MyPlus. To navigate the free, publicly accessible MyPlus database without pulling your hair out, you just need to follow 3 exact steps. First up, head over to the official portal at acapaprod.excella.com/MILRA. Next, punch in the nurse's full 10-digit license number for a perfect match, or just use their exact registered first and last name. And step 3, this one is huge. You have to apply the profession filter. Make sure you select registered nurse or licensed practical nurse. I'll show you exactly why that filter is a lifesaver in just a second. All right, so once you actually pull up a record, how do you read it? You're looking primarily at the license status. If it says active, great, they are currently cleared to practice. But you might spot things like inactive, lapsed, or expired, which literally means they cannot legally work as a nurse right now. And even more importantly, keep your eyes peeled for statuses like suspended or revoked. You'll also want to check if there are any public disciplinary actions attached to the file, like probations or board orders. Moving on to Section 3, avoiding search pitfalls. Let's look at some common errors people make during the verification process. Remember that profession filter I was raving about? Here's the deal. LARA uses one massive database for a bunch of different regulated professions. So if you just search a common name like John Smith without the filter, you might end up looking at the license for a plumber, a cosmetologist, or a builder instead of the nurse you actually want. That filter is absolutely essential. Oh, and a quick pro tip. If the nurse uses a maiden name or got married recently, you might have to play around with partial spellings if they don't pop up right away. Now, we definitely need to talk about this scam alert. There are some highly sophisticated phishing scams out there targeting healthcare workers and the people verifying them. LARA has flagged fake emails pretending to be official, usually with scary subject lines like "Action Required, LARA Enforcement Number 83700." Just know this, LARA is never going to ask you for confidential data, credit cards, or your social security number via email or text. If you get something that feels off, just forward it straight to larasafety@michigan.gov. Section 4, legal and ethical rules. What are the actual obligations for safety and compliance? This part is critical for any employers listening. You've got to understand FCRA, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Look, the free MyPlus search is fantastic for a quick, real-time check. But legally, that data doesn't count as a formal consumer report. What does that mean for you? It means you can't use a quick web search as the only reason for making a hiring, credit, or insurance decision. Facilities absolutely still have to run a fully compliant, fingerprint-based background check before bringing someone on board. On top of that, facility leaders have a clear ethical and legal duty under the Michigan Nurse Practice Act. You have to proactively verify credentials before hiring anyone, period. And if you, whether you're an employer or a patient, even suspect fraudulent practice, you are required to investigate and report those concerns to the Board of Nursing immediately. The state also heavily recommends integrating dual system credential checks into your workflow, which actually tees up our next topic perfectly. Section 5, National Tools and Conclusion. How do we expand this search beyond Michigan? Let's look at how we can stack these databases to really build out your toolkit. As we've seen, you use MimPlus for real-time Michigan records. But you should absolutely use the Nurses database, which is run by the National Council of State Boards of Nursing when you need to look up national or multi-state disciplinary history. Just a heads up, though, because Michigan sends its data over to nurses in batches, that national database might have up to a 48-hour lag compared to Michigan's live MimPlus portal. And here is a vital legal reality check if you're operating in Michigan. Michigan is not a nurse licensure compact or NLC state. Yes, there is some pending legislation trying to change that, but as of right now, an out-of-state nurse with a multi-state license does not have the authority to just start practicing in Michigan. They have to apply for a standalone Michigan license through endorsement. So, if a candidate hands you a compact license from Ohio or Indiana, just remember, it doesn't automatically clear them to work here. If you ever need to dig a little deeper into the weeds of nursing credentials, you have some great resources at your disposal. The Michigan Nurses Association is a fantastic starting point for general licensing info and advocacy. But keep in mind, Laura's Bureau of Professional Licensing is the actual authority processing the paperwork. They are the folks you'd go to if you needed to submit a Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, request for more detailed records. I want to leave you with a question that really gets to the heart of this. Have you verified the credentials of the healthcare providers caring for you or your loved ones today? Patient safety really is everyone's business. Knowing that there are literally thousands of fraudulent credentials floating around the country, I strongly encourage you to put what we've talked about into practice. Become a credential detective yourself. Go to the MitPlus portal and run a verification today. It's free, it takes 2 minutes, and it could make all the difference in the world. And finally, just a quick reminder. While this explainer covers all the latest available data, healthcare regulations and these digital portals do evolve. Always make sure to independently verify your findings and check current requirements through official state channels at michigan.gov/LARA. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into license verification. Stay informed and stay safe out there.